The rain-slicked streets of Seattle gleamed like shattered glass under the sodium lamps, and Noah Hale stood frozen in the doorway of their cramped off-campus apartment, the scent of betrayal thick as the Puget Sound fog rolling in from the bay. Hunter's growl, low, possessive, laced with that alpha timbre that once made Noah's knees buckle, echoed off the walls as he pinned Tyler against the kitchen counter, their bodies entangled in a way that twisted Noah's gut like a knife. "You're mine now," Hunter murmured, his voice a velvet blade. And in that instant, Noah knew the pack bond he'd clung to for 2 years had snapped like dry tinder under a boot heel. Noah's vision blurred, not from the downpour soaking through his hoodie, but from the hot sting of tears he refused to let fall. Not here, not while the 2 men who'd shared his bed and his secrets devoured each other with a hunger that should have been his. He backed away, the door clicking shut behind him like the final punctuation on a love letter stained with ink and blood, and vanished into the night, the city's relentless drizzle washing away the last traces of what he'd called home. Noah didn't remember the walk to the waterfront, only the way the cold seeped into his bones, mirroring the hollow ache where his omega instincts screamed for the alpha who just discarded him like yesterday's takeout. Seattle's piers stretched out like skeletal fingers into Elliott Bay, ferries cutting ghost trails through the mist, and he collapsed onto a weathered bench, the wood groaning under his weight. His phone buzzed in his pocket, Hunter's name flashing like a taunt, but he silenced it, hurling the device into the churning water below. Let the salmon devour his notifications. They couldn't touch the wound festering deeper. At 24, Noah had always been the steady one, the omega who balanced textbooks with late-night shifts at the campus coffee shop, dreaming of a life beyond the pack hierarchies that shadowed his every step. In this modern America, where omegas like him navigated college dorms and baristas' aprons without the old-world chains of heat suppressants and scent blockers being mandatory, the world felt half-won. But packs, those tight-knit wolf-shifter enclaves hidden in plain sight among the hipsters and tech bros, still ruled with primal laws. Hunter Blackwood, with his broad shoulders, storm-gray eyes, and that easy grin that masked a ruthless edge, had been Noah's alpha since freshman orientation. They'd met in the haze of a rain-soaked welcome week, Hunter's scent of pine and leather wrapping around Noah like a promise. Tyler Voss, the roommate, had slunk into their lives 6 months ago, a transfer from some podunk town in eastern Washington, all lean muscle and sly smiles, an alpha in his own right but one who played beta to Hunter's dominance. Noah had welcomed him, shared beers and bad jokes over video games, even ignored the way Tyler's gaze lingered too long during movie nights. Jealousy? Sure, it flickered like a faulty bulb. But betrayal? That was a thunderclap he hadn't braced for. The memory replayed in jagged flashes. Coming home early from his shift, key turning in the lock, the muffled sounds from the kitchen resolving into horror. Hunter's hands on Tyler's hips, Tyler's head thrown back in ecstasy, the air thick with the musk of claiming bites not yet fully healed. Noah's suppressants had dulled his senses, but not enough to miss the raw finality of it. He was the outsider now, the omega who'd been passed over for the fresher thrill. Hours blurred into a numb haze. Dawn painted the sky in bruised purples when Noah finally stirred, his body stiff from the chill. The waterfront buzzed with early joggers and fishermen prepping their lines, oblivious to the shifter world humming beneath their feet. He needed a plan, shelter first. Their lease was in Hunter's name, but Noah's pride wouldn't let him beg. Instead, he trudged to the nearest hostel, a dingy spot near Pioneer Square called the Rainshadow Inn, where the clerk barely glanced up from her crossword. "Single room, one night," Noah muttered, sliding crumpled bills across the counter. His reflection in the smudged mirror behind her was a stranger, hollow-cheeked, eyes shadowed like he'd aged a decade overnight. The room smelled of stale smoke and regret, a sagging bed and a window overlooking alley cats fighting over scraps. Noah stripped off his wet clothes, the fabric peeling away like old skin, and stood under a scalding shower until his fingers pruned. Water cascaded over the faint scars on his collarbone, Hunter's marks, now itching like accusations. He scrubbed harder, as if soap could erase the bond's echo, the way his body still yearned for a touch that would never come. By midday, he'd emailed his professors about a family emergency. Lies came easier than truths, and packed what he could salvage from the apartment in a duffel during Hunter's class hours. Tyler's textbooks on the shelf, a forgotten hoodie that smelled like him. Evidence of the life Noah was fleeing. He didn't confront them. What words could compete with the image burned into his retinas? Instead, he left a note on the fridge. Take care of each other. Don't look for me. Childish, maybe, but it was all the closure he could muster. Wandering the streets, Noah's mind drifted to the pack's fringes. Seattle's shifter community was a patchwork of urban wolves, tech wolves in Bellevue high-rises, artist packs in Capitol Hill galleries, and the old guard clinging to the forests of Discovery Park. His family, scattered after his parents' divorce, offered no harbor. His mom in Portland, dad God knows where in Alaska chasing oil rigs. So he texted his cousin Levi, the one black sheep who'd gone full human, enlisting in the army right out of high school. Hey man, need a couch. Shit hit the fan. Levi's reply was swift. Get your ass to Joint Base Lewis McChord. I'm stateside for a week. We'll talk. It was a lifeline, thin as fishing line, but Noah grabbed it. The army, humans and shifters alike, bound by ranks instead of sense. No alphas lording over omegas there. Just orders, drills, and the promise of purpose. By evening, he'd caught a bus south to Tacoma. The city's lights fading into the interstate's black ribbon. JBLM loomed like a fortress, chain-link fences and floodlights warding off the wild. Levi met him at the gate, all buzzcut and camo, clapping Noah on the back with a bear hug that smelled of gun oil and MREs. Jesus, pup, you look like hell warmed over. Hunter finally show his true colors. Noah nodded, throat tight. They crashed in Levi's barracks quarters, swapping stories over contraband whiskey. Levi, a beta through and through, listened without the pity Noah dreaded. His tales of deployments in the Middle East a stark counterpoint to Noah's domestic implosion. You're better than that pack bullshit, Levi said, pouring another shot. Enlist. Get out of your head. The world's bigger than Seattle rain and bad breakups. The idea lodged like a splinter. Noah had dodged the draft whispers. America's endless skirmishes in proxy wars, shifters funneled into special ops for their enhanced senses. But now, with nothing tethering him, it beckoned. By dawn, he'd signed the papers, the recruiter's pen scratching like fate's indifferent quill. Basic training was a crucible. Fort Benning's red clay baked his boots, drill sergeants barking orders that drowned out his inner howl. As an Omega, Noah expected sidelong glances, the subtle aggressions from alpha recruits who scented his status like weakness. But he pushed harder, morning runs before reveille, waits until his muscles screamed, channeling the betrayal into fuel. Suppressants were standard issue, blurring the lines between human and wolf, and for the first time, Noah felt the stirrings of something dormant. His shifts came easier, claws sharper. The moon's pull less a curse and more a call to arms. Letters from home trickled in, Hunter's scrawled apologies, Tyler's awkward silences. But Noah burned them in the latrine's incinerator, ashes scattering like forgotten promises. Graduation came in a blur of salutes and green fatigues, Levi pinning his private's stripe with a grin. Welcome to the pack that matters, cousin. Deployment orders followed swift. Afghanistan, a dust-choked hell where Taliban remnants and rogue shifter cells clashed in mountain passes. Noah boarded the C-130 at dusk, the hold's rumble vibrating through his chest like a second heartbeat. As the plane lifted off, Seattle shrank to a pinpoint, and with it, the boy who'd begged for scraps of love. In his place rose a soldier, Omega no longer in spirit, ready to claim his fangs in the fire. But the war had other plans. On his first patrol in the Hindu Kush, Noah's unit, callsign Viper, ambushed a cave complex rigged with IEDs. The blast threw him like a rag doll, shrapnel kissing his side, the acrid tang of cordite mingling with spilled blood. In the chaos, as medevac choppers thundered in, he caught a scent amid the smoke. wild sage and gunpowder, Alpha strong but laced with something rarer, solace. The Alpha hauling him to safety had eyes like burnished copper, a jaw set against the pandemonium. "Stay with me, Hale," he growled, voice cutting through the din. "I've got you." Elijah Kane. The name etched itself into Noah's fevered mind as darkness claimed him, the first thread in a tapestry woven from grit and grace. Noah woke to the staccato rhythm of an drip and the faint whir of a field hospital generator. His body a map of aches bandaged in sterile white. The air in Bagram hummed with urgency. Moans from adjacent cots, the sharp clip of boots on linoleum, the ever-present dust that coated everything like regret. He shifted, wincing at the pull of stitches along his ribs, and there was Elijah, slumped in a plastic chair, dog tags glinting against his olive-drab tee, one hand still curled protectively around Noah's wrist. "You're a tough son of a bitch," Elijah murmured without opening his eyes, his voice rough as the Afghan gravel outside. At 27, he carried the war like a second skin. Sun-leathered tan on his mixed heritage features, Italian-American roots from Jersey shores blending with Cherokee blood from his mother's side, dark hair cropped military short, and those copper eyes that seemed to see through flesh to the wolf beneath. Noah swallowed, throat dry as parchment. "Kane, right? You pulled me out." Elijah's gaze snapped open, warm and assessing. "Damn right. Wouldn't let some cave rats claim you on your first rodeo." He released Noah's wrist slowly, as if reluctant, and stood to fetch water from the cooler. The motion revealed the lithe power in his frame. Alpha through and through, but without the posturing Noah knew from Hunter's world. No scent-marking dominance here, just quiet command. As days blurred into a mandatory convalescence, Elijah became a fixture. He'd smuggle in pilfered MREs, cheese tortellini, Noah's favorite, and spin yarns of deployments past. Ambushes in Fallujah, a shifter squad's midnight raid on an ISIS nest. Elijah was a staff sergeant in Viper, a beta-heavy unit with a smattering of Omegas and Alphas who ran ops too hot for greenhorns. His own wolf was a lone thing, packless after a falling out with his Jersey clan over a sister's honor killing gone wrong. "You're not what I expected from an Omega," Elijah admitted one night, the hospital tent lit by a single bulb swinging like a hanged man. They'd snuck onto the roof for air, stars pricking the black vault above the Hindu Kush, distant artillery rumbling like thunder gods at play. Noah laughed, bitter edge cutting through. "Yeah? What's that, simpering? Heat-blind and useless." He stared at the horizon, where jagged peaks clawed the sky. Hunter thought so, till he found someone, fresher. Elijah's silence stretched. Then he leaned closer, shoulder brushing Noah's in the chill. "Screw Hunter. You're here breathing fire in a war zone. That's alpha enough for me." The words landed like rain on parched earth, stirring something feral in Noah's core. Back in Seattle, Omegas were the glue, nurturers, bondkeepers, but the army stripped that bare. No heats disrupted rotations. Suppressants and discipline forged soldiers, not stereotypes. Yet in quiet moments, Noah felt the shift. His reflexes honing, dreams of running four-legged under full moons laced with newfound aggression. Was it the adrenaline, the severance from Hunter's bond? Or Elijah's presence, steady as a heartbeat, coaxing his wolf to bare teeth? Convalescence ended too soon. Cleared for light duty, Noah rejoined Viper in a forward operating base near Jalalabad. A cluster of HESCO barriers and razor wire hunkered against Ochre Hills. The unit welcomed him back with backslaps and crude jokes. "Hale's ghost story over, huh?" But it was Elijah who pulled him aside during gear check. "Stick close on patrols," Elijah said, handing over a cleaned M4. "Your nose is gold for sniffing IEDs. Trust it. Trust." The word chafed, but Noah nodded, falling into step beside him. Patrols were a grind. Humvees bouncing over rutted tracks, eyes scanning wadis for glints of metal or the telltale shift of insurgents in man jams. Viper's shifters rotated point, Alphas for assault, Omegas for detection, Betas holding the line. Noah's senses sharpened daily, scents layering the air like code. Diesel from the vehicles, goat dung from herder trails, the metallic tang of fierce sweat from hidden spotters. One dusk up, they crested a ridgeline overlooking a poppy field, the sun bleeding orange across the valleys. Elijah signaled halt, his wolf hand raised, and Noah caught it first. A whiff of cordite and unwashed bodies, Taliban scouts nesting in a callet wall. The ambush erupted in muzzle flashes and AK chatter, bullets zipping like hornets. Noah dove behind a boulder, returning fire on instinct, his rounds chewing adobe as Elijah flanked left, barking coordinates into the radio. Suppressing fire. Hail, keep 'em pinned, Elijah yelled, and Noah complied, the rifle's recoil a jolt that synced with his pounding heart. When the dust settled, 3 tangos down, Viper's medic patching a graze on a beta's thigh, Elijah clapped Noah's helmet. Clean work. You smelled 'em a mile off. Adrenaline sang in Noah's veins, a high sharper than any Seattle club. That night, in the hooch's dim glow, bunks stacked like coffins, air thick with snores and satellite hum. Elijah cornered him with a deck of cards. Poker? Loser pulls latrine duty. They played for hours, stakes escalating from chores to secrets. Noah folded on a bluff, spilling about the apartment betrayal. Hunter's hands on Tyler, the note left behind, the bus ride south that felt like exile. Elijah listened, dealing slow, his face a mask until Noah trailed off. My ex-alpha back home, Elijah said finally, voice low. Chose the Pax Beta over me, said I was too wild, too Cherokee-tainted for their pure-blood bullshit. Left me bleeding in a Jersey alley. He tapped the ace of spades, eyes distant. War's honest, at least. No sense to lie with. The shared scar tissue bound them tighter than any claiming bite. Patrols blurred into routine. Sunrise YATs. Hello insertions. The endless chess of cat and mouse with ghost fighters. Noah's body adapted. Leaner, harder, his omega curves giving way to corded muscle. Whispers rippled through Viper. Hail's changing. Smells. Off. Suppressants masked it, but Elijah noticed. His glances lingering during mess hall chow. A question in those copper depths. Then came the heatwave op. A week-long push into a Taliban stronghold in the Pesh Valley. Viper humped it in, rucks heavy with ammo and water. The air a furnace that boiled sweat into salt crusts. Noah's suppressants faltered under the strain. Missed dozes in the chaos. And on night 3, bunked in a bombed-out schoolhouse, the first cramp hit like a mule kick. He stifled a whimper, curling fetal on his cot, the moon mocking through shattered windows. Elijah stirred across the room, scenting distress like a beacon. Hail? Talk to me. Heat! Noah gasped, shame flooding hot. Suppressants. Gone south. Elijah was there in seconds, draping a poncho over the cot for cover. His presence a cool draft. Breathe through it. I've got watch. Ain't letting you ride this solo. He settled nearby, back to the wall, rifle across knees, murmuring low nonsense about Philly cheesesteaks and boardwalk summers until the wave crested. Dawn found Noah wrung out but unbroken, Elijah's eyes bloodshot from vigil. Thanks, Noah whispered, and Elijah's hand ghosted his shoulder, brief, electric. Don't mention it. Partners, right? The word hung, pregnant with possibility. But war doesn't pause for heartbeats. That day, Intel pinpointed a high-value target. A rogue alpha shifter, ex-Pakistani ISI, running guns to the insurgents. Viper geared for assault, blackface, NVGs, suppressed weapons, the chopper insertion silent as sin. Noah's nose led them true, threading a goat path to the cave mouth where the alpha's scent reeked of hyena cunning and silver-laced traps. The breach was poetry in violence. Flashbangs blooming white, suppressed bursts dropping sentries. Noah cleared a side tunnel, heart slamming, when the rogue lunged, claws raking, jaws snapping for his throat. Omega instincts screamed submit, but Noah twisted, sinking fangs into the bastard's flank, hot blood flooding his mouth. The alpha howled, staggering, and Elijah's shot ended it. Clean headshot, body crumpling like laundry. In the afterglow, as they zip-tied survivors and called extract, Elijah pulled Noah aside. That wasn't Omega work. That was kill or be killed. Noah spat blood, tasting victory. Felt, right? Elijah's grin was wolfish. Welcome to the hunt, Hale. Back at base, over lukewarm coffee, the change crystallized. Noah's scent had shifted, sharper, dominant. The Omega haze lifting like fog burned off by sun. Viper's Alpha Sergeant, a grizzled Texan named Wyatt, cornered him during PT. You're ascending, boy, rare as hen's teeth for an Omega. War's remaking you. Noah met his gaze steady. Good. I need teeth. Elijah watched from afar, pride mingling with something deeper, unspoken. Nights grew charged, touches accidental. Brushing knuckles during gear prep, shared foxholes where breaths synced in the dark. Noah dreamed of him. Running packs under alien moons, Elijah's laugh echoing free. But shadows loomed. R&R rotations pulled Elijah stateside first, a 2-week furlough to Jersey ghosts. Right me, he said at the airstrip, copper eyes fierce. And Hale? When I get back, we talk. For real. Noah nodded, throat tight, watching the Black Hawk swallow him whole. Alone, the base felt hollow, patrols mechanical. Then came the letter. Elijah's scrawl, postmarked Newark. Missed the dust already. Packs the same, sisters married the beta who knifed me. But you're the first who sees me whole. Hold the line. Yours, Kane. Noah folded it into his breast pocket, a talisman against the void. But wars will turn cruel. A week later, Viper drew straws for a suicide run. Embedded advisors in a corrupt Afghan outpost, shifters turning coat for opium bribes. Noah volunteered, the alpha in him roaring for the fray. The hello dropped them into monsoon rains, mud sucking at boots like graves. The outpost was a tinderbox, locals eyeing them wary, advisors twitchy with secrets. Noah scented it day one. Betrayal sour as milk, from their own ranks. That night, as thunder cracked, he cornered the lead advisor, a beta from Ohio named Cole. You're selling us out, Noah growled, pinning him against sandbags. Cole cracked, spilling names, rogue alphas in Viper's chain, Hunter's contacts from stateside whispers. Hunter. The name was venom. He'd infiltrated, using old bonds to feed intel to the enemy, Tyler's ambition the spark. Rage ignited Noah's shift, full wolf, first silvered by rain, tearing through the traitors in a frenzy of claws and fury. Gunfire lit the night, allies falling, but Noah emerged bloodied, victorious, the outpost secured at dawn. Word reached Elijah mid-flight back. Hale's a legend. Took down a nest solo. But the cost, Noah's hands shook with afterkill, the alpha surge cresting into isolation. When Elijah landed, dust-caked and weary, he found Noah on the wire, staring into the void. You ascended, Elijah breathed, pulling him close. Their scents mingled, sage and pine reborn, and for the first time Noah didn't yield. He claimed the kiss, fierce and forgiving, war's forge tempering their souls. The monsoon broke with biblical fury, turning the Pesh Valley into a quagmire where every step sucked at resolve like quicksand. Noah Hale, newly forged in the fires of ascension, led point on the next sweep, his alpha senses a blade honed to razor edge. Viper's ranks had thinned. 2 betas Kia in the outpost purge, their ghosts lingering in the hooch like unanswered radios. But morale held, buoyed by Noah's legend. Whispers followed him. The Omega turned alpha, a rarity that pack elders back home would call omen or curse. Elijah Kane walked second, their rhythms synced like heartbeats in a shared chest. The kiss on the wire had been a dam breaking, urgent, tasting of cordite and unspoken vows. But dawn's demands pulled them apart, duty's cold finger on the trigger. Now, in the sopping heat, Elijah's glances carried weight, copper eyes tracing Noah's profile with a hunger that mirrored the wolves within. "Flank left on my mark," Noah murmured into the comms, scenting a wadi ambush before the drones confirmed. His voice held the timbre now, low growl underscoring commands, and the unit responded without hesitation. Wyatt, the Texan Alpha Sergeant, deferred with a nod, respect earned in blood, not birthright. The firefight erupted in staccato bursts, insurgents melting from scrub like phantoms, RPGs whining overhead. Noah dropped to a knee, sighting through his ACOG, rounds barking precise. Beside him, Elijah laid suppressing fire, his M249 saw chewing through belts like judgment. "Clear left, pushing," Noah called, leaping at irrigation ditch, claws half extended for grip. They cleared the kill zone in minutes, Tango scattering into the hills, Viper's corpseman triaging a graze on a young beta named Finn. Back at the bird, adrenaline ebbing, Elijah bumped Noah's shoulder. "That growl of yours, it's working wonders. Got the Hadjis running scared." Noah smirked, wiping mud from his faceplate. "Learned from the best." The words hung, laced with the previous night's heat. Elijah's hands mapping his scars, breaths mingling in the dim hooch, bodies yielding to the pull that suppressants couldn't dull. It wasn't claiming, not yet, not with war's noose tightening, but it was honest, raw as the Hindu Kush stone. Arnar's afterglow faded fast. Elijah's furlough tails painted jersey in sepia. Boardwalks creaking under summer weight. His sister's wedding a farce of forced smiles. The beta groom's eyes sliding away like oil on water. "Pack's a cage," he'd confessed post-kiss, fingers tracing Noah's jaw. "You set me free just by seeing me." Noah had shared fragments too. Seattle's relentless gray. Hunter's betrayal a scar that itched less now. Tyler's shadow the ghost of inadequacy. "I was invisible," he'd admitted, voice cracking. "Till you." But war intruded as it did. Intel flooded in. Hunter Blackwood, leveraging old pack ties, had gone full traitor. Exiled from Seattle's enclaves after the apartment fallout. Rumors said Tyler's ambition outpaced his loyalty, fracturing their bond. Hunter had vanished stateside, resurfacing in Afghan whispers as a fixer for black market silver, the anti-shifter poison that burned like acid. Now, embedded with Taliban alphas, he funneled Viper's patrol routes to the enemy, his scent trail a taunt across oceans. The revelation hit during a hot wash debrief, Wyatt slamming a fist on the plywood table. "Blackwood's playing both sides. Human brass thinks it's coincidence, but we know better." "Hale, you sent him." Noah's gut twisted, the name evoking rain-slicked doorways and shattered glass. "Yeah, pine and leather," twisted with desperation. "He's here. Close." Elijah's hand found his under the table, squeezed firm. "We'll end it." The hunt consumed them. Viper drew recon duty, threading high passes where yak trails switchbacked into oblivion. Noah's alpha nose led, picking Hunter's trace amid goat herds and wild thyme. Faint, but persistent, like a bad dream recurring. Nights in mountain loggers, fires banked low, Elijah and Noah shared watches, stories weaving tighter bonds. "Tell me about home," Elijah prompted one eve. The galaxy wheeling overhead, distant howitzer booms a lullaby. Noah leaned against a boulder, knees drawn up. Seattle's alive at night, piers alive with ferries, coffee shops steaming against the damp. Used to walk the market with Hunter, pretending we were forever. He paused, voice softening. "Now, it's a scar. But you make me want to go back. Rewrite it." Elijah's laugh was soft, hand brushing Noah's. Jersey's concrete and chaos. Greasy slices at midnight, waves crashing like arguments. "My mama's fry bread, though. That's soul." His thumb traced Noah's knuckles, electric. "After this, we find a coast. Mix our worlds." The promise settled deep, a counter to the war's grind. But dawn brought ambush. Hunter's handiwork, a daisy chain of pressure plates blooming fire along their route. The blast flipped the lead Humvee, shrapnel singing, and Noah dove into the smoke, dragging a screaming beta. Miles, the radio op, clear. Elijah was everywhere. Hauling wounded, laying smoke, his saw a reaper's scythe. "Hail, cover!" he roared, and Noah spun, dropping a spotter on the ridge. Blood slicked his gloves. Miles femoral, stemming the flow with a tourniquet twist. Medevac arrived in a hurricane of rotors, but not before Noah caught it. Hunter's scent, fresh, mingled with the dead. "He's toying with us," Noah growled later. In the aid station's stink of iodine and fear. Miles stabilized, but the unit mourned two lost. Alpha's father's back home. Elijah paced, fury coiling. "Bastard's desperate. Lost his pack, his Omega, now he's lashing out." "Our Omega," Noah corrected, voice steel. The slip landed. "Mine, ours," and Elijah stilled, eyes darkening with want. "Yeah," he breathed, closing the gap. "Ours." The kiss was claiming in all but bite. Fierce, anchoring, Elijah's teeth grazing Noah's lip in promise. Nurses averted eyes. Viper's shifters knew the score. Bonds forged in foxholes transcending ranks. Orders shifted, Viper tasked with Hunter's capture. A QRF for a pinned ANA unit in the Shah-i-Kot. The valley was a meat grinder, Soviet ghosts in rusted hulks, Al-Qaeda holdouts in caves that swallowed squads whole. Noah's team humped in at midnight, NVGs painting the world green, his nose threading the needle through minefields. Contact came at false dawn. RPGs cratering earth, PKMs chattering from cliffs. Noah's wolf surged, directing fire teams with barks that echoed primal. "Elijah, flank the hornet's nest. Finn, suppress high ground." They pushed, inching blood. Elijah's voice steady in the chaos. "On you, hail." A grenade bounced near, and Noah lunged, hurling it back. Boom rattling ribs, shrapnel peppering his vest. Through the haze, he saw Hunter. Silhouette on the escarpment, rifle raised, gray eyes locking across the gulf. The shot was for Elijah. Instinct screamed it, and Noah tackled him down, round whizzing past. They rolled into cover, Elijah cursing vivid Italian, checking Noah over. "You saved my ass." "Partners," Noah panted, grin feral. The ANA broke the nest at noon, Hunter vanishing into spider holes like smoke. Viper claimed the field, but victory soured with casualties. Wyatt winged, a beta DOA. Back at FOB, over lukewarm Gatorade, Elijah pulled Noah into the chapel tent. Empty pews, icons gazing benign. "I almost lost you," Elijah whispered, forehead to Noah's. "Can't do this half-assed anymore." Noah's heart thundered. "Then don't. Claim me. Here now." The bite was mutual. Teeth sinking into shoulders, sense flooding. Sage and pine entwining eternal. Pain bloomed to ecstasy. The bond snapping taut, souls fusing in wars in different shadow. Afterward, curled on the altar cloth, Elijah traced the mark. "My alpha, my mate." Noah's laugh bubbled free. "Took a war to find it." But Hunter's shadow lengthened. Days later, a flash drive from a captured courier. Coordinates, Viper's next stop, stamped with Hunter's sigil, a blackwood pine. Betrayal's web tightened, pulling them toward confrontation. Noah trained harder, alpha strength surging. Deadlifts shattering PRs, shifts seamless under the ward moon. Elijah matched him, their sparring sessions charged with laughter and heat, bodies remembering each other's maps. Viper noticed, Hale and Cain, unbreakable, but whispers of envy stirred, rogue elements, betas chafing at Noah's rise. The op launched under full dark. Hello assault on a border cave, Hunter's lair. Insertion flawless, but betrayal struck inbound. Stingers from the ridgeline, birds flaming earthward. Viper scattered, regrouping in arroyos, Noah's howl rallying them. They stormed the cave at dawn, flashlights cutting gloom, echoes of Soviet dead. Hunter waited in the heart, flanked by hyena shifters, silver blades glinting. "Noah," he purred, voice honey overwrought. Come home. Tyler was a mistake. Yours too, playing soldier. Elijah snarled beside Noah, rifle steady. He's home, Blackwood. With me. The melee exploded. Claws rending, bullets ricocheting, silver burning fur. Noah faced Hunter, alphas clashing in primal fury. Fists, fangs, the cave a coliseum of grunts and blood. Hunter's strikes landed heavy, reopening old wounds, but Noah's ascension prevailed. A knee to the gut, elbow cracking jaw. You were mine, Hunter gasped, silver knife flashing. Never again, Noah roared, disarming him, pinning throat to stone. Mercy flickered Hunter's eyes, broken glass, but Elijah's cry yanked him back. A hyena on his mate, claws raking. Noah whirled, tackling the beast, jaws closing on windpipe. Elijah rose, bloodied but whole, finishing Hunter with a mercy shot. Clean, final. The cave fell silent, echoes fading. Viper mopped remnants, extract choppers thundering in. As they lifted out, Noah leaned into Elijah, bond humming content. It's over. Elijah kissed his temple. Beginning. Dust devils danced across the FOB's airstrip like celebratory spirits as Viper's black hawks touched down. Rotors whipping grit into veils that stung like accusations. Noah Hale slumped against the bulkhead, the cave's frenzy replaying in synaptic flickers. Hunter's final gasp, the wet snap of bone under boot, the silver knife skittering into shadows. His alpha mark throbbed on Elijah's shoulder, a fresh tattoo of belonging, but victory tasted of ash. Too many ghosts piled on the ledger, Wyatt airlifted to Landstuhl with a gut shot that might end his tour. Elijah's hand anchored him, fingers laced tight, copper eyes scanning for cracks. You good, mate? The word, casual now, carried the weight of their bond. Forged in chapel desperation, sealed in cave blood. Noah nodded, though his wolf paced restive within, scenting the unit's undercurrent, all laced with unease. An ascended Omega turned Alpha, claiming a packmate mid-deployment? Viper's shifters murmured in mess hall corners, Betas like Finn casting sidelong glances, Alphas testing boundaries with sharper challenges during PT. Hale's got teeth now, they'd say, half jest, but Noah felt the shift, hierarchy reknitting around him, fragile as parachute silk. Debrief dragged. Brass and Bagram lauding the HVT takedown, medals pinned provisional, silver star for Noah, bronze for Elijah, while ignoring the shifter underbelly. Hunter's body, scorched by silver residue, vanished into black bag disposal, his treason buried under national security stamps. No mention of Tyler Voss, the roommate who'd lit the fuse. Intel pegged him stateside, wheeling deals in Seattle's underbelly, but extradition was a pipe dream. R&R slots opened, Elijah's second in command, a mercy after the cave. Jersey or Seattle? He asked that night, hooch lit by a tack lamp's blue glow, their bunks shoved together in defiance of regs. Noah traced Elijah's scar, the bite mark a crescent moon on tan skin. Both. Show you my reign. You show me your waves. The plan coalesced. Split the leave, weave their worlds before rotations end. But first, a quiet claiming bodies entwining slow, exploratory, war's urgency yielding to tenderness. Elijah's touch mapped reverence, whispers of mine against Noah's pulse, their sense braiding into something unbreakable. Stateside hit like a fever dream. Noah's flight touched Seattle-Tacoma under pewter skies, the familiar drizzle a balm on sun-cracked lips. Levi met him curbside, cousin's grin splitting his buzz-cut face. Hero pup returns. Packs buzzing, Hunter's dead. You ascended? Mama's baking pies in Portland just to grill you. They drove to Maple Creek, a suburb clinging to Seattle's east side like moss on cedar. Tree-lined streets, coffee carts on every corner. The lake's glassy calm hiding currents deep. Noah's old apartment loomed, windows dark, but he bypassed it for Levi's split-level ranch, crashing on the couch amid dog-eared Tom Clancy's and faded unit photos. Word spread fast in the enclaves. By Eve, a pack elder, Gabriel Thorne, silver-furred relic from the old docks, summoned him to a waterfront neutral ground, the Ferris wheel at the market blinking like a carnival lie. Ascension's no small thing, hail, Gabriel rumbled, pipe smoke curling wolf-gray. Omega's rising, disrupts the weave, but you avenged our kin. Welcome back, Alpha. The title chafed, heavy as ruck weight, but Noah accepted the nod, the subtle scent offer of alliance. News of Tyler filtered in. Holed up in a Capitol Hill loft, peddling suppressants laced with silver to rogue Omegas. His bond with Hunter's ghost driving the spite. Noah's wolf snarled, but Elijah's texts grounded him. Waves crashing. Thinking of you. Stay sharp. He wandered Seattle's veins. Pike Place's bustle, fishmongers hollering. The space needle-piercing clouds like a thong. Hawaiinim tugged. Jogs along the locks where salmon leaped, echoes of Hunter's laugh now soured. But in a waterfront dive, nursing IPAs amid hipsters, Noah scented opportunity. A beta barista, Miles Kin from Viper, offering freelance security gigs for pack events. You're legend now, the kid said. Need muscle? It beat idleness. Noah signed on, patrolling a full moon gathering in Discovery Park. Alphas posturing under cedars, while Omegas danced firelit circles. His presence quelled scuffles, his growl a deterrent sharper than claws. One elder's daughter, a sharp-eyed Omega named Riley, cornered him post-shift. Heard you ditched your alpha for war. Ballsy. Find what you needed. Noah's smile was private. More. Elijah's pickup at Newark was electric. Airport bustle fading as they collided in arrivals. Kiss hungry, hands greedy under hoodies. Jersey unfolded in sensory assault. Turnpike grind, salt air sharpening as they hit the shore. Elijah's family manse in Asbury Park squatted beachfront, Victorian gingerbread peeling like old paint. His mother's fry bread steaming welcome on the stoop. Figlio? She enveloped him, Italian fire in her Cherokee bones, eyes appraising Noah over cornbread. You bring light to my boy's shadows. Dinner was interrogation masked as feast, ziti and saganaki, tales of Elijah's boyhood scrapes, the pack schism that scarred him young. Noah shared sparingly, Seattle's gray, the cave's red, but her nod sealed approval. War takes, but gives back fierce. They claimed the boardwalk after. Ferris wheels whirling, arcade bells clanging. Oceans roar a counterpoint to heartbeats. Elijah's hand in his felt revolutionary. No hiding sense, no suppressants dulling the bond. This is us, Elijah murmured, salt wind whipping. No cages, but ripples from the cave lapped stateside. Tyler's network cracked under FBI heat. Silver busts in Portland, whispers of a mole. An encrypted drop hit Noah's burner. Blackwood's end was mercy. Yours coming. The roommate's spite, amplified by loss. Noah briefed Elijah over burner calls, their leaves idle fracturing. He's cornered, Elijah said, voice steel. Let brass handle. Noah's alpha balked. Protect the pack. Rend the threat. They cut R&R short. Flights converging in D.C. for supplemental debriefs. Brass probing Hunter's ties. Tyler surfaced in custody. A twitchy ghost in orange, denying plots but wreaking lies. Noah faced him glass-partitioned, hazel eyes to ice blue. You destroyed us, Tyler spat, chains rattling. Hunter chose right, you were always weak. Noah leaned close, growl low. Weakness is chasing ghosts. I'm free. Tyler's blink betrayed fracture. Regret? Fear? But Noah walked out unbroken, Elijah waiting curbside. Done. Done. Rotation loomed, Viper redeploying to a quieter sector. Kandahar embeds, training ANA shifters against ISIS bleed over. The unit reformed leaner, Wyatt returning stateside with a purple heart and limp. Finn stepping up beta lead. Noah and Elijah slotted seamless, their bond a quiet force. Shared glances in briefings, touches in the chow line that spoke volumes. Patrols shifted tone. Less kinetic, more mentor. Teaching ANA wolves scent tracking, suppressing rogue heats with discipline over drugs. Noah's ascension proved asset. He led mixed squads, his commands bridging human shifter divides, earning nods from Afghan alphas wary of American upstarts. One dust-choked dawn, advising a valley outpost, Noah scented it anew. Silver, fresh, laced with Voss's cologne. Coward's revenge, slipped through supply lines. A booby-trapped cache, detonating mid-drill, shrapnel raking the ANA line. Chaos. Screams in Pashto, earth blooming red. Noah dove, shielding a young Afghan Omega. The blasts roared, deafening his ears. Elijah dragged them clear, saw covering evac, but the boy, name of Kareem, bled out in Noah's arms, eyes glazing on foreign stars. Grief hit like monsoon. Noah howled into the night, wolf form tearing scrub, Elijah pursuing to pull him back from edge. We couldn't save him all, Elijah soothed, holding tight in the wadi's hush. But we fight for the ones we can. The incident escalated, Viper hunting the silver source, raids netting Tyler's couriers, a trail leading to Peshawar bazaars. Brass greenlit a cross-border snatch, Noah and Elijah spearheading the Black Op. Night jump into Pakistan, ghosts in the machine. Insertion was poetry. Halo shoots whispering down, boots silent on minaret roofs. The safe house reeked Voss, cheap aftershave and desperation. They breached quiet, zips on tangos, cornering the mule. A beta fixer with Tyler's tattoos. Talk, Noah growled, knee to throat. The man cracked, Tyler's endgame. Poison the shifter alliances, spark a purge. But Voss himself fled to Istanbul, tail between legs. They exfiltrated heavy with intel, choppers skimming the Khyber like thieves. Back at base, triumph soured by Kareem's empty bunk. Memorials mounted, dog tags on rebar crosses, letters home scented with sage. In quiet, Elijah and Noah rebuilt. Stargazing on the roof, planning post-tour. A cabin in the Cascades, maybe, or Jersey Shore steady. Soulmates, Elijah teased, nuzzling the mark. War's gift. Noah's laugh echoed true. Ours to keep. But war's not done. Rotation's tail end brought surge. ISIS alphas crossing from Iraq, silver-fanged and rabid. Viper surged north into Nineveh's ruins. Mosul's ghosts, rubble fields where caliphate dreams died screaming. First clash hit hard. Convoy ambush. IEDs chaining into machine gun nests. Noah's squad pushed house to house. CQB a ballet of breaches and bursts. Elijah covered his six, voices overlapping in the wire. Clear moving. A collapsed mosque hid the nest. ISIS shifters hulking in black, eyes mad with fervor. Noah breached, flashbang blooming, but a silver claw raked his flank. Burn searing, venom locking muscles. He staggered, vision tunneling, Elijah's roar distant thunder. Noah! Elijah charged, saw emptying, dropping the beast. He scooped Noah up, dragging to cover, corpseman jabbing morphine as silver poison raged. Evac was blur. Medevac to ballad, surgeons carving out the claw tip, Elijah's face ghost white in the hold. Fight it, mate. I need you. Noah clung to the bond, wolf clawing back from abyss. Days in ICU blurred, tubes snaking, monitors beeping dirge, Elijah ever vigil, whispering Jersey tales, hand never leaving. Awakening came slow, Elijah's copper eyes first light. Ascended alphas don't quit, he grinned, voice cracking. Noah squeezed his hand. Not without you. Recovery forged deeper. PT in Ballad's gyms. Noah's wolf mending silver scars with stubborn grace. Viper rotated homeward, but Elijah pulled strings. Special assignment, training cadre at Bragg, keeping them stateside tandem. Discharge loomed, war's chapter closing. Tyler's ghost faded, captured in a Turkish sting, facing shifter tribunals. Seattle beckoned, Jersey too, their future a map redrawn. On the flight home, Noah leaned into Elijah, horizon golden. We made it. Elijah kissed his temple. And we're just starting. Fort Bragg's piney sprawl welcomed Viper's remnants like an old coat. Familiar, threadbare, smelling of red dirt and renewal. Noah Hale stepped off the bus with a duffel slung over one shoulder, the alpha in him attuned to the base's pulse. Drill cadences echoing from the web, rangers tabbing through swamps, the faint musk of shifter units drilling in the shadows of Smoky Hollow. Silver scars itched under his fresh ink. A wolf's head tattooed on his bicep, Elijah's work during ballad downtime. But they were badges now, not burdens. Elijah Kane walked beside him. Their strides matched, Bond humming content beneath the surface chatter. Homecoming was subdued. Barbecues at the NCO club, families enveloping returnees in hugs that smelled of stateside comfort. Hamburgers and sunscreen, no trace of cordite. Levi flew in from JBLM, clapping Noah's back till it bruised, while Elijah's mother mailed care packages of cannoli and fry bread mix, her notes scrawled in looping Italian. Manja, mi amore, build strength for the life ahead. But reintegration chafed. Noah's ascension drew eyes, shifter cadre whispering of the miracle wolf. Omegas and training units seeking him out for counsel. Alphas testing with sparring invites that edged too close to challenge. He taught resilience classes, sharing cave tales sanitized for brass. War remakes you. Own it. Elijah co-led. Their synergy a quiet legend. The mated pair who'd turned the tide in Shah-i-Kot. Off-duty they carved space. A rented A-frame in the sandhills. Hours drive from post. Pine walls, stone hearth. Deck overlooking loblolly stands where deer grazed at dusk. Mornings blurred into routine. Coffee black as gun oil. Runs through dew-slick trails. Bodies waking slow under flannel sheets. Elijah's touches lingered. Fingers tracing scars. Lips brushing the claiming mark. Turning necessity to sacrament. Tell me what scares you, Noah murmured one dawn. Sunlight slanting gold across Elijah's chest. The bond a live wire between them. Elijah's gaze drifted to the ceiling beams. Waking up alone again. You. Losing this. Noah admitted, palm over Elijah's heart. The quiet after the storm. Seattle pulled first, a quick recon for routes. Noah flew solo, Elijah covering shifts. The 737s hum a lullaby over rocky snow. SeaTac rain greeted like kin. Levi chauffeuring to Maple Creek where the house stood sentinel, porch light flickering welcome. His mom's visit from Portland was tear-streaked. Hugs in the kitchen. Her Omega sent rapping forgiveness for silences kept. You've changed, she said over salmon bisque, eyes tracing his frame, broader edged. Stronger. War's forge, Noah replied, voice steady. Pack elders reconvened him at the market. Gabriel Thorne presiding over a fire circle in Gas Works Park. Gas towers looming like ancient sentinels. Alpha hail, they intoned, offering fealty. Scent marks on a shared pelt, alliances sealed. Riley, the Omega from before, now mated herself, gifted a carved totem. Two wolves entwined, running free. Tyler's trial shadowed the right, federal court in Seattle, shifter liaisons testifying to silver plots. Noah gave deposition remote, voice flat reciting betrayals, but inside, pity stirred for the roommate reduced to shackles and spite. He chose wrong, Noah told the court. We all do sometimes. Verdict. Life. No parole. Closure bitter as chicory. Elijah's Jersey jaunt overlapped. Noah joining midweek for the Shore's Salt Symphony. Asbury's waves crashed turquoise. Boardwalk alive with summer ghosts. Kids shrieking on rides. Gulls wheeling over funnel cake grease. Elijah's family folded Noah in. Uncles grilling braciole. Cousins dragging him to beach volleyball. His aunt's tarot reading the bones. The warrior finds peace in another's fire. Nights on the dunes, bonfire crackling, Elijah traced constellations. This is home now. You, the sea, no packs dictating breath. Noah's hand found his. Build it with me. Fall brought decisions. Noah mustering out with honors, Elijah extending to cadre lead. Stability traded for roots. They scouted Cascade's cabins, landing on Haven Point, a lakeside hamlet near North Bend, evergreens crowding shores, the peak's shadow a daily reminder of hidden strengths. Closing was swift. VA loan, shifter-friendly realtor winking at the bond cent on their papers. Packing brag was ritual. Unit farewell at the spoke, pitchers flowing, Finn toasting to Hale and Kane. Wolves who run together. Wyatt, Kane thumping from his porch, pulled Noah aside. You saved my hide. Oh, you eternity. Pup no alpha. Family. Noah clasped his forearm. Always. The drive west was Odyssey. I-90's ribbon unspooling through Badlands gold, Teton's teeth, Idaho's panhandle green. They alternated wheel, playlists mixing Springsteen anthems with Noah's indie folk. Bon Iver's falsetto over Wyoming winds. Stops blurred. Bison jams in Yellowstone, hot springs soaks in Montana, motel nights where bodies reaffirmed vows. Haven Point unfolded quaint. General store with creaky floors, dockside tavern slinging craft IPAs, a shifter pack loose-knit around logging lore. Their cabin perched bluffside, wraparound deck, stone fireplace, master with Lakeview window framing bald eagles wheeling. Unpacking was dance. Bookshelves for Elijah's Clancy's and Noah's Vonnegut's. Kitchen stocked with cast iron for fry bread trials. First weeks melted into rhythm. Noah freelance security for Seattle events, driving the Tacoma Hybrid through pass fog, while Elijah commuted to JBLM for reserve drills, teaching wolf tactics to green recruits. Evenings were theirs. Fly fishing the inlet, casts arcing silver, supper of trout grilled with lemon and sage. Full moons called shifts, running four-pawed through old growth, howls echoing packless free. But scars whispered, nightmares ambushed, Hunter's knife glint, Kareem's glazing eyes, Tyler's chains rattling judgment. Noah woke thrashing once, Elijah's arms a harbor. Talk it out, he'd urge, and words spilled. Guilt for the dead, fear of peace's fragility. Elijah shared too. Jersey ghosts, the pack exile that left him adrift, war's toll in phantom pains. Counseling helped, VA shifter groups in Tacoma, circles where alphas owned vulnerabilities. We're human first, the facilitator droned, but Noah knew better. Wolves all, navigating the wild within. Winter dusted the lake in lace, holidays a tapestry. Levi crashed for Thanksgiving, turkey roasting as they swapped war yarns. Elijah's cannoli a hit. Christmas brought Elijah's kin east. No full Jersey exodus, but mom and a cousin. Tree trimmed with dog tags and heirloom ornaments. Gifts unwrapped slow. A leather journal from Noah for Elijah's stories. A silver-free pendant from Elijah, Noah's, etched with entwined initials. New Year dawned crisp. Resolutions murmured over champagne. Travel light, love fierce. Spring thought ambitions. Noah pitching a memoir to Seattle presses. Fangs in the fog. Chapters on Ascension's ache. Elijah eyeing a PI gig, leveraging cadre smarts for private packs. Conflict stirred subtle. Haven's elder pack, Ridge Valley holdovers, chafed at outsiders. A beta enforcer, Cole's ilk, broad, bearded, challenged Noah at the tavern over territory pints. Ascended or not, you're soft from the city. Noah met his gaze alpha calm. Soft gets you killed. Try me. Spar ended quick. Submission tap, no blood, earning wary respect. Elijah's laugh later. Over porch beers. My gentle alpha. All teeth. Summer swelled full. Lake swims nude under solstice sun. Bodies buoyant. Bond electric in water's embrace. A weekend in Seattle. Pride March. Rainbows snaking through streets. Noah and Elijah hand in hand. Sense proud amid the throng. This is freedom. Noah breathed, confetti raining. The world's acceptance a balm on old hides. But autumn winds carried echo. A letter from Portland, mom's pack fracturing over a young Omega's runaway. Echoes of Noah's flight. He drove south, Elijah shotgun, mediating in rain-lashed living rooms, his alpha voice bridging rifts. Bonds break, but family rebuilds. The girl, Aiden, 16, wide-eyed. Stayed with them a week. Haven's cabin a haven. Your mated alphas? She marveled, over Esmores by fire pit. Like equals. Partners. Elijah corrected, winking. War taught us that. She returned home mended, but the act reignited purpose. Noah volunteering at Seattle's Shifter Youth Center. Elijah guest lecturing on resilience. Lives touched, a bullied beta finding spine, and Omega charting college unbound. Harvest Moon brought right. Pack induction, Haven's circle under Ridge Valley Oaks. Elders anointing Noah and Elijah as affiliates. Sense offered, pelt shared, the weave expanding. Yet doubt nipped heels. One eve, lake flat as mirror. Noah voiced it. Am I enough? After the cave, the scars. Do I deserve this peace? Elijah pulled him close, reflection doubling in water. You earned every dawn, mate. We're the proof. Winter's grip tightened. Snow blanketing pines like forgiveness. News pinged. Tyler's appeal denied. Hunter's old contacts scattered. Closure full. As year turned, Noah's book deal landed. Advance modest, but validation sweet. Signing party in Seattle, Levi toasting. To wolves who chose themselves first. Elijah's eyes met Noah's across the room. Promise eternal. War's forge had yielded gold. The first real snow of the season blanketed Haven Point like a hush, muffling the lake's lap and the pine's whisper, turning the world into a watercolor of whites and evergreens. Noah Hale stood on the cabin's deck, breath fogging the rail, a mug of black coffee steaming in his grip. At 26 now, the war's etchings had softened, silver scars faded to pale rivers on his torso. His frame settled into alpha assurance without the deployment edge, but the quiet amplified inner echoes. A distant howl, Kareem's laugh cut short, Hunter's eyes in the cave's gloom. Elijah Kane emerged from the screen door, flannel-clad and rumpled from sleep, wrapping arms around Noah from behind, chin hooking shoulder. His scent, sage and leather, deepened by domestic fires, grounded like anchor chain. Penny for him? He murmured, lips brushing ear. Noah leaned back, the bond a warm current. Just measuring. A year stateside, and it feels like dreaming awake. The memoir's galleys sat inside, fangs in the fog, spine up on the kitchen table. Editor's notes scribbled in margins. Lean into the romance. Readers crave the heart. Seattle presses buzzed for launch, but Noah wrestled the vulnerability, exposing the claiming bite, Elijah's vigil and ballad, the Ascension's raw terror. Elijah's chuckle vibrated through them. Dreams suit you, better than foxholes. His hands splayed possessive, tracing the pendant at Noah's throat. Their initials, silver-free talisman. Mornings like this were ritual. Coffee shared, plans sketched over eggs scrambled with elk sausage from the hunt they'd taken last fall. Running pack with Levi in the Cascades folds. But peace, hard won, carried undercurrents. Haven's pack wove them in slow. Joint hunts under Gabriel's Seattle envoys. Barbecues where betas grilled trout and alphas swapped lore. Riley visited once, pup in tow, her omega glow radiant. You too? Inspiration. Yet friction simmered. A Ridge Valley purist, old guard alpha named Dean, sniffing at Noah's human taint. The memoir, the youth center gigs, as dilution. Confrontation brewed at the winter solstice moot. Bonfire crackling in a clearing off Highway 2. Elders circling under strung lanterns. Dean's challenge came blunt. Mead horn and fist. Books and counseling? Alpha's lead hunts, not therapy circles. Prove your mettle, city wolf. Noah's wolf stirred, but Elijah's hand on his knee steadied. Partners, equals. Metals in the lives we mend. Noah replied, voice even. Hunts empty without heart. The circle murmured, Gabriel nodding sage. Dean backed down grudging, but eyes lingered hostile. Later, by embers, Elijah pulled Noah aside. Ignore the noise. You're my alpha, pack or no. Noah's kiss was fierce, snowflakes melting on lashes. Ours. Solstice spilled into Yule. Cabin strung with lights, tree felled from the bluff, Elijah's axework, Noah's trim. Levi crashed with tales from JBLM, Wyatt video calling cane-free from Texas, Finn shipping a crate of Bragg bourbon. Elijah's mom arrived laden, suitcases bulging pasta, her embrace enveloping. Bambini, you glow. Feast was chaos joyful. Ziti bubbling, fry bread golden, stories looping from war yarns to childhood howlers. Aiden, the Portland runaway, Skyped thanks. College bound now, her grin fierce. Your cabin's my North Star. Toasts rang. To fallen, to risen, to futures unwritten. New Year dawned crisp, resolutions whispered lakeside. Noah vowing launch courage, Elijah eyeing PI expansion. Cases for displaced shifters, tracking lost bonds. But January's thaw unearthed old rot. A package at the post office. Unmarked, reeking Voss. Inside, Tyler's effects, journal scrawled venom, silver vial shattered deliberate. Note clipped from a tabloid. Trader's mate. Hero or hoax? The hit piece, from a Seattle alt-weekly, dredged cave rumors, Hunter's innocent exile, Noah's ascension as pack myth, Elijah painted opportunist. Trolls swarmed online, hashtags venomous, fake alpha war widow scam. Noah's gut knotted, memoir launch tainted. They're dragging us back, he told Elijah that night, fire popping accusatory. Elijah's jaw set, let M. Truth's our blade. He rallied. Calls to Gabriel for pack statement. Wyatt's vet network flooding comments with counter, medal citations, unit testimonials. Noah faced it head-on. Op-ed in the weekly, Scars and Souls. Owning the betrayal, the bite, the love that remade. Response flooded positive. Letters from Omegas ascended in shadows, Betas thanking vulnerability. Launch night packed Elliott Bay books. Levi emceeing, Riley reading excerpts, Elijah's arm anchor through applause. Sales spiked, reviews glowing. A gay wolf's odyssey raw, redemptive. But Dean's grudge festered. Spring full moon, a hunt gone sideways. Ridge Valley alphas accidentally cornering Noah's trail. Silver-tipped arrows whizzing warning. Elijah's howl rallied Haven allies. Standoff dissolving tense. No blood, but ultimatum, exile or submit. Noah's rage crested, alpha full, calling mood emergency. Circle under oaks where Gabriel mediated. Purity's poison. Noah declared, voice thunder. Packs thrive on change, ascensions, matings beyond blood. Dean, your way dies alone. Elijah flanked, copper eyes steel. Challenge us, challenge all. Dean's pack fractured, Betas defecting, elders swaying. Submission came grudging, Dean slinking to shadows, Haven stronger knit. Summer healed. Lake days with Aiden interning at the center, youth camps where Noah taught tracking, Elijah survival knots. Memoir tour hit coasts. Jersey readings with Elijah's kin cheering, Portland mom's pride beaming. A documentary nibble from Netflix. Wolves of War, their story cinematic. Fall harvest brought bounty. Cabin expanded with a studio. Noah's writing nook, Elijah's case board. One eve under harvest moon, they shifted, running ridges till paws bled joy, collapsing human tangled in meadow grass. I'm pregnant, Noah breathed later. Test strip positive. Alpha Omega miracle, war's legacy fertile. Elijah's joy broke wordless, tears salting kisses. Our pup, perfect. News rippled. Levi whooping plans for Uncle Duty. Mom's knitting frenzy. Pack elders gifting cradle-carved wolf motif. Pregnancy wove wonder. Mornings sick but sacred. Elijah's hands cradling the swell. Ultrasounds revealing tiny heartbeat strong. Winter cradled them. Snowshoe treks, cabin fireside with Coco. Names debated. Miles for the lost, sage for sense shared. Labor came blizzard, Haven midwife guiding. Elijah's grip unyielding through contraction's storm. Dawn birthed him. Kai hail cane, squalling fierce, hazel eyes blinking copper flecked. Elijah's sob echoed Noah's. Ours. Pack gathered hushed. Gifts of blankets. Scents offered gentle. Life bloomed. Colic nights tag-teamed. First smiles dawn-lit. Kai's tiny claws pricking play. Years folded soft. Kai toddling woods. Yipping shifts at 3. Pack ants like Riley spoiling. Noah's second book. Soul runs deep. Chronicled fatherhood's wild. Elijah's PI thriving on justice cases. 1 anniversary. Lakeside under stars. Kai asleep within. They renewed. Bites refreshed. Vows whispered. From betrayal to this, Noah marveled. Elijah's grin wolfish. Soulmates endure. Haven Point endured too. Packs evolving. Ascensions normalized. Dean's echo faded. War's lessons lingered. Compassion in claws. Freedom in fangs. Identity owned fierce. In the quiet, Noah knew. They'd claimed it all.